This is King Noble Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to respond to a very interesting question that has been raised. Can you be a god and still have a job? I want to tackle that because I think that can really expand some people's consciousness. Well, yes, you can be a god and have a job. Simple fact is that a god can pretty much do what they want to do. You have the melanin, the energy, the DNA. God is within you, in you, and as you. So you are pretty much God no matter what you do. Nothing you do can take away from you being God. You being the embodiment of divine energy. Nothing you do can take away from that reality. So yes, you can be a god and have a job. The issue is too many gods have limited themselves to jobs. And that's, to me, the real issue. So the question is not really, can you be a god and have a job? It's, can you say fuck the system and fuck white supremacy and have a job? That's another question that becomes raised. Can you really be against the system and have a job? Now, and the second question it raises for me is, do you realize yourself as a god in having a job? That's the second question that it raised for me. Because if you feel like you're limited to money in a particular way, if you feel like you don't have a choice or don't have an option, and that you have to work for the white man in order to survive and eat and live, you're still a god, but certainly you don't realize yourself as one because you're living in limitations. Being a god is constantly going beyond limitation and realizing your infinite potential, your inexhaustible potential and creativity as an unlimited being. You're able to fathom the endless possibilities of what you can be, do, and have. So you have plenty options. A lot of people who have jobs and you listen to their conversation, a lot of times they sound like they really don't have any other options. I got to do this. This is the way it goes. This is the only way I can help. This is the only way, I can eat. This is the only way I can feed my family. This is all I can do. That sounds like a guy that does not realize their divine capability and their potential. That they are actually limited. They're gods that are slaved on the modern day plantation called capitalism. They're still gods, sleeping giants, afraid to step out of their comfort zones, confront their fears, and to realize the unlimited ability to do, be, and have beyond white supremacy, beyond the job, just over being broke. They're unable to realize that. So, yeah, you can be a god and have a job, but you don't realize yourself as a god or realize your omnipotence or your unlimited potential. You don't realize that in a lot of cases. If you have that conversation, clearly you don't. Because you feel stuck and you feel optionless. God has unlimited options. As fast as you can think conceive, perceive, imagine, visualize, you can manifest and create something for yourself. See, a God is able to manifest their objectives. They're able to say what Allah said in the Quran, Kun fayakun, be and it is. A God knows that they're able to manifest the highest version of themselves on this planet and to set their goals and their objectives into motion like the universe was set into motion. And they're able to achieve their goals. If you don't believe you can achieve goals higher than the life that you live right now, you don't realize yourself as a God or understand even what being a God really is. Because it's being an unlimitless creator, a limitless creative being that can take responsibility for your life, that can claim your divinity in action. That's what I would ask. And a lot of people, that's their conversation. This is my only option. I have to do this. I don't have any choice. I got to work for this white man. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. That's a non-self-realized God. Now, a lot of people who work for a job are directly not against the system because they're working for the system every day. That's a fact. They can tell you one thing, but their action shows I'm working for the system and going along with the way of the system from 9 to 5 or part-time or whatever you may call it. That's a lot of people. But you do have some warriors in the matrix. That's why I chose to use the picture that I did. You have warriors in the matrix. What some people call spooks that sat by the door. But this is a genuine thing. Most people that consider themselves to be spooks that sat by the door are very disingenuous. Because they're not really doing anything for black liberation. They're not doing anything for black freedom. They're not doing anything for black revolution. Not saying that they're not doing some good for blacks. You see, you can do good for blacks, for some black people. But that doesn't mean that necessarily mean you're doing good for the revolution. Or you're doing good for nation building. It doesn't necessarily mean that. You can feed homeless people, loan out money, help some single mothers. But that doesn't mean you're supporting a revolution. That you're directly supporting resistance or a revolutionary movement against white supremacy, against the establishment, or you're supporting a new black world order. And you might be doing that with a job. So you might be doing something good with your job. But that good might fall short of being a revolutionary or being ultimately against the system, which would not make you a spook that sat by the door. It would make you a person with a job that just want to do some good. What makes you a spook that sat by the door is when you are totally against the system of white supremacy and you're using your skills, ability, resources, time, and particular vantage point in the matrix to help a resistance movement, to help revolution, to help black supremacy, to help create black new world order. And if you're using your job to do that, you're a warrior in the matrix. But a lot of people with jobs have to admit that they're really not doing that. They're apprehensive to give money. Consistently, they must be prodded, cajoled, reminded to give and support a black supremacist movement, a revolutionary movement. They could admit that with their jobs, they're not doing that. They may be doing some good for blacks here and there, but they're not supporting resistance and revolution against white supremacy. See, a warrior in the matrix would do that. They don't just do some good for black people with their positions. They use a position as a counter position to destroy white supremacy. That's the object of the revolutionary and the person who's saying fuck the system and that's against the system. Most people with jobs are not doing that. They're not financially supporting the revolution or resistance movement, nor are they using their job specifically for the purpose to give them some advantage to aid in the destruction of white supremacy. So when you ask that greater question, can you have a job and be against the system and to be against white supremacy? You can. But most people are not doing that. And if they were honest, they would have to admit that I'm really not doing it, that my job is not aiding or supporting a resistance movement against white supremacy or putting me in a unique position to destroy white supremacy. While they may be doing some good for black people, immediately helping some black people in different types of situations and circumstances. And that's a whole nother video. I don't want to go into all of it in this video. I'll do another video talking about that. Because a lot of times black people spend more time helping coons and helping black people who want to be in the system more than they spend time helping those that are fighting against white supremacy and working to destroy white supremacy. Those people are not getting the support. But these black people feel like they are doing good. And their ego blocks them from those who are doing the real work to destroy white supremacy, because they would like to feel that they're doing it. By working and doing some good, they would like to feel like they're the ones working to resist and destroy white supremacy. It's egotistical. But that's another video. I digress. So you can get a job and be a god, but you are putting your divine energy in a sleepless way behind being preoccupied with white supremacy. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you a real warrior in the matrix? Are you using your job as a vantage point to destroy the system of white supremacy right now? Are you aiding those who are resisting white supremacy and working every moment and every second of their life to destroy white supremacy? Are you aiding them? Ask yourself that and answer honestly. Some of you say, I want to get on my feet. I want to save some money up. At this point, I'm going to be able to help. I'm going to be in position to do this and that. And it never fucking happens. Before we can get some people in the matrix to help us, sometimes it's paramount or equivalent to robbing a fucking bank and holding a fucking bank teller hostage to get someone who's working in the matrix to help. Because they got every fucking excuse of why they cannot help right now. At some point, I'm going to do this. At some point, I'm going to do that. At some point, get the fuck out of the matrix. If you can't help now, if you can't be constructive to black supremacy and destructive to white supremacy right now, get the fuck out of the matrix. Get the fuck out of the matrix. And if you're in the matrix saying, this is all I can do, these are my only options, I don't know, this is it for me, it's the smartest thing to do, this is all I can do, is work this job, you do not realize yourself as a god. Because if our ancestors said that all they could do to benefit the struggle for liberation for black people is work for the white man, we wouldn't have even the illusion of freedom that we have today. Some of them had to put down their tools on the plantation, put down their rake, put down their hoes. And they had to walk off the goddamn plantation. That's the first move they had to make in order to devote their life to aid in the freedom and liberation of black people. Look at Harriet Tubman. In order to free black people, you got to walk off the plantation first, just to prove to yourself that you out of the plantation. And if you go back, it's to be a warrior in the matrix. To be a true spook that's set by the door, that's not there for your own comforts, for your own addictions. You're not in the matrix for your own self-gratification. You're specifically in a position where you can be a warrior in the matrix and do something in the present moment, do something right now to aid black people in their freedom and liberation, to support those who are resisting white supremacy and to aid in the destruction of white supremacy right now. Not next week, not next year, not when you get a raise, not when you save your money up, not when you invest in this, but right fucking now. That's my piece on can you be a god and have a job. You can be a god and do anything the fuck you want to do if you realize that you're a god. But if you do realize you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, why would you be a slave? Why would you be under white supremacy? Why would you be in the system? Unless it was some key strategical position to be effective right now. Not lie to yourself, not have a pipe dream and waste your life away being a damn slave with good intentions. California dreaming about what you might be able to do in the future, but right the fuck now. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleuncensored.com. Donate, don't hate. Hit like on this video. Subscribe to my new YouTube page, King Noble Guru. Follow me on Instagram, kingnobleuncensored.c.o.m. You in the Matrix, you got a job, donate right now. Send something every moment, every second. Literally. Help out. And if you're in a position, you got a job where you can't help out in the destruction of white supremacy and those that are resisting it, get the fuck out right now. Quit your job. You can't even justify being in it. Or you're in it to help maintain coons and help maintain those who want to be in the Matrix and love the Matrix. Let those people who love the fucking Matrix maintain themselves. That's what it's there for. To maintain yourself by being validated, by being a slave in the Matrix. They both work together. Black supremacy.